Are you tired of feeling stuck in your current circumstances? Well, today on Awakening with Amy, we're going to talk about how to stop feeling stuck, stop yielding to the circumstances, and start choosing who you want to be. So, welcome. If you're new here, thank you for being here. I'm Amy. This is Awakening with Amy, where we help you create your ideal life. So, today we're going to talk about the teachings of Neville Goddard, how to stop yielding to the circumstances and start creating what you prefer. Okay, so understand, number one, whatever your current circumstances is, I know it feels sometimes like we're stuck, like there's no way out, like they're in your face. But I'm here to tell you today, you are not stuck. What's happening is the 3D world is just a reflection of you, of different ideas, beliefs, assumptions that you have, different states of being within you. And you don't get rid of anything. It's just an old reflection. They are not final. They are not as solid as they seem. There is no objective reality, meaning it's not fixed. It's not final. They're always changing into who and what you say you are. Everything out there is only an echo of who you once were. So you have a choice to make in every moment because they're always changing into your assumptions, whether you're aware of them or not. So let's read a Neville Goddard quote, and then we'll get deeper into the video. Your assumptions determine not only what you see, but also what you do, for they govern all your conscious and subconscious movements towards the fulfillment of themselves. So what appears solid and immovable is actually just what you assumed to be, what you expected, in other words. It's crazy, isn't it? Right? So you only feel stuck because you think you're stuck. And then you keep seeing that. You're seeing your circumstances from an identity that I am stuck. Do you see how it works? Those circumstances have no power over you. Stop giving your power over to the circumstances. Accept them as one option. Acceptance does not mean you agree with them, but you cannot change. You cannot get clarity on what you prefer now without looking at them, without accepting them as one option, that they have a right to exist, right? So why aren't our circumstances set in stone? Well, Neville told us in that quote, everything moves. Everything is a reflection of our inner assumptions, whether we're conscious or unconscious of them. And we take actions on those assumptions, whether we know it or not. That's why sometimes you're like, well, I wasn't thinking about that. And how did that happen? Right? I have a client that actually just said that to me. She said, she was so excited. Her and her boyfriend were going to celebrate an anniversary of being together, and they were making plans, and he had to get off the phone, and she's like, all right, well, yeah, call me back. And he never called her back. They haven't spoken in over a week. And she was saying that to me, that made her feel hurt and, really disillusioned about their relationship. And I said, well, it's not that what happened that made you feel disillusioned or made you feel unloved. Him not calling you back is only reflecting how you felt within before, what you were assuming before you even were aware of it. It's crazy, right? So the illusion is that the 3D is solid and it's set in stone, but it's actually just an echo of the past, of your past thinking. Right? And your reasoning mind will never, ever understand that. And your reasoning mind short circuits what could be. It short circuits your imagination, that higher you, because it only accepts what was. Your reasoning mind can only pull from the known, but it's your wonderful human imagination, like Neville talks about, is your power to assume something different. And assumptions fulfill themselves, like he said, meaning you have the free will to choose them. You don't need any evidence out there. So stop yielding out there and looking out there for evidence and proof of who you are. They're just reflections of old versions of you. They don't mean anything because you are the one that gives the meaning to every circumstance. I said, do not define. I said, when did you decide that he didn't call you back? And she was like, oh, right? Think about this. I know we all go through some version of this. That's why we're doing this video today. So those external circumstances were actually shaped by your own imagination, your consciousness, who and what you're assuming yourself to be. So reacting to them doesn't make sense. Reacting to them only reinforces them, only gives them power. Neville also says, do not give the power that you are to those circumstances. They're just one version of events. And they're always changing. Keep going back to that I'm new in every moment. I can go to 0 and start over. And I get that opportunity in every single moment, right? So stop reacting, stop yielding to the circumstances, and start choosing who you want to be. The way to all your desires is a one-way street. There's no two ways about it. You cannot have a desire and then doubt it. You cannot say, oh, I love this guy and, we're making these plans, but he didn't call me back, so it must be telling me something. Must be something wrong with me. There must be something wrong with him. No. Those circumstances don't mean anything. There's one way. You cannot have that desire to go on that getaway, to celebrate your relationship, and then doubt it because some circumstance happened. No, don't give any circumstance that power. Remember, it's a one way. So you're either you're either focused towards what you want or you're focused away from it. Isn't that powerful? It's so powerful because everything, like Bashar says, is one thing from a different point of view. It's made from, in other words, it's made from that one love, that one energy, that one source. The source of all the love, all the abundance, everything that you want to experience here in a physical way comes from the one substance that's loving. And when you're pointed towards what you want, towards that abundance, towards that love, you're connected. And when you're pointed away from it, you're letting your reasoning mind dictate and short circuit what could be. Really let that sink in. It's powerful today. So, feeling is the secret, Neville says, right? That feeling is not an emotion, he says. When I speak of feeling, I do not mean a human emotion like happiness or sadness or excitement, but the acceptance of the fact that it's already fulfilled. So it's an inner conviction that that desire came to me from an alternate universe, an alternate version of me. And I know the reasoning mind's going to spit that out and say, you're crazy, that's nuts. But your human imagination, just don't need to know how, just accept it. That's what an assumption is. It's acceptance of something without evidence. That's the power of his teachings. So, decide. This is how you do it. Decide what you want. Decide that desire is valid. Instead of saying what we were taught, a desire comes to you and you can't always get what you want. No, that's a false premise. Every desire is valid and it could only come to you if it was already you. It's you talking to you. This is the whole game of life, waking up, that it's all between you and you. So decide from all versions of yourself, all identities, all ideas what you want. And then 2, your only job is to yield to that identity. Do not look out there for proof or evidence of who you are. It's yours because you say so. That's the inner conviction that Neville was talking about. It's already yours. It's already done. Fear not, little flock. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom in Luke. Little flock are the thoughts of doubt. It's the reasoning mind trying to tell you, oh, I don't know. This doesn't look good. He's blowing you off. I don't know. I don't think you can have it. No, take him off the pedestal. Take the relationship off the pedestal. Stop defining yourself through the circumstances, through the appearances, because they're always changing. Define yourself. Who am I? I am loved. I am chosen. I am grateful and thankful. And then you must get that reflection back when you are, it's an inner conviction. I'm not defining myself by the world anymore. I'm defining myself by who I say I am. So, simple technique of Neville Goddard is revision. Revise that event. Not because you're trying to change what happened. No, this is the power. You're not trying to fix them, change the situation, fix yourself. None of that. Because all of that is just putting all your focus on doubt and fear. No. Revision is about rewriting from that alternate identity, meaning there's not one version of that event. Powerful. Everything's going on simultaneously, like Bashar says, the TV example. You can only watch one program at a time, but you know that there's other programs going on at the same exact time, but you're not tuned to them. So it's the same thing. That's what revision is about, tuning to what you prefer now. Rewriting that story. Not to change it, not to delete it, not to avoid it, but to choose your preference because that's your power. How you want things to be, that's how you do it. So you give praise and thanks to that new story, to that revised version of events, knowing it's just as real. And you will see that reflected back to you. So I urge you to commit to your new identity. You are not stuck. Everything's always moving. Everything's always changing. Decide that today. Decide who you want to be. And tell me in the comments who you now are. What's your new identity? So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking and sharing the video. And again, thank you for your comments. I love them. And until next week, see you soon.